I've gotten most of the little rootlets or hair roots off and washed them down a bit. Boil it for about half an hour. Cattail leaves have a side that is curved or convex and a side that is flat or concave. In making the basket, the flat side always goes out. That is, when you're putting it on the ground to make it, the flat side is down. I've split the end of 4 twigs. I'm going to use them kind of like clothespins to help me hold the cattails in place when I need them. Okay, so you see my placeholder, and I'm just laying them out over under a traditional basket weave. Okay, here it is. I have 7 going this way and 7 going that way. How many you use doesn't matter a great deal, but make sure that the sum total of them is an even number. So 7, 14, 21, 28. 28 is an even number. That's what we're going to do. Just twist it around like that. We're just going to twist it around every one of those spokes just to help hold them in place. To do that, I'm going to start by tying a knot in this end. I'm also going to start in the middle, not at the corner. So now we've got 7 each way for a total of 7, 14, 21, 28, and we've twined these. And all of these have the flat side down to the ground, so they'll be on the outside of the basket. And the reason for that is that when you bend these up, you'll need to sort of crush this rounded part, just squash it a little, and then it will bend up without breaking. It's field expedient. So you don't really have to twine, but the reason I do is that it adds more stability to the form, and I don't want my basket falling apart on the way back to camp. These have been boiling for about a half an hour. There's no magic time. The reason I like at least a half an hour is that it takes that long for the starches to congeal, and I want to kill whatever microbes and other beasties might be lurking in there. Now all we do is slit them down the middle. It should cut very easily if it's done. They'll look like this, and then we're going to scrape this stuff out into a pile. So there we have it. Some cattail squash. I call it squash because it tastes like that. And a couple of sausages. My friends from the British Isles call a dish that looks the same to me bangers and mash. You'll notice I did not get very much cattail squash, and that's because at this time of year there's not a lot of starch in the roots. The fall and winter are much better times. However, it is enough, there is enough in to give you some carbohydrate energy. So, bon appetit. So now we squash these and make sure they bend without breaking. I also like to tie these together just to help hold them in place. Now just so you can see, the first round is not going to be very tight or tidy. You can't tidy it up until you get another couple rounds of weavers on there. So I'll get back to you when I've got. I put in 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of weavers, and now I'm taking the weavers that are inside of the top row, folding them over and tucking them into this. It'll give it even more rigidity. So, the handle is just wrapped around. It doesn't have to be too staunch. And there you have it. And it's very adequate for gathering berries and whatever. And the way you use it for a water basket, you probably already carry plastic bags. If you don't, you can often find these shopping bags hanging around the woods that people have left here for trash. And if it'll hold air, it'll hold water. So we do just tuck that in there. And you now have a basket that will carry water. The advantage in having a basket covering for your water carrier is simply that if you try to carry it in a plastic bag in an emergency, it's really prone to tear and rip and catch. I did not have enough water with me to show you using it to carry water, so I brought it with me after all. And let me just show you, I have a quart of water here. Now that's a quart of water. This would easily hold a gallon, and I have no doubt that it would carry that gallon all day and probably a couple days. So it's a good thing to know if you're stuck and needing a container.